First is a big addition, fast, physical, brings a lot of juice to the offense. New set of downs. T. Higgins over the middle. Big gain for Higgins inside the 35. Bengals turnovers. Burrow steps up. Again, pressure. Burrow bounces out of trouble. Throws on the move. It's caught at the 35. T. Higgins with those outstanding hands, but he got his bell rung on the play. 9-yard pickup.
I thought the game was more interesting than that.
I think most Cowboy fans thought that could happen the other way,
exactly.
right? But now all of a sudden,
the play action and time for the first time.
There it is.
And there's Higgins. Battling that Dallas decibel meter. Here's Burrow on 3rd and 10. Throwing on the run, and it's caught. What a pass to Higgins. Again back at the 17-yard line. Here's Burrow's pass, and it is caught. That's Higgins. Here's Burrow looking for a second option. Sliding. Signals, throws. Higgins, touchdown, Cincinnati. I'm thinking of this one on this whole drive, you know it.
watch this. Does anybody right there on that D-line look like they're going to rush and get to the quarterback? I mean, they're just standing there. You got all day. That's the part where, as a quarterback, it's like, listen, they don't have the same energy they did before.
Burrow told us teams are making them check down. They're keeping them in front of them, trying to avoid getting in a hole early. Great hands along the sideline. T. Higgins, and he's out of bounds. Burrow did get drilled. 3rd and 9 for the Bengals. Just underway here in the opening quarter. Burrow steps into it, delivers along the sideline, and T. Higgins has got it for a first down in a matchup with DJ Reed. Bengals now in New York territory with Mixon in the backfield. Fake it. Burrow, protection holds up, tosses it inside the 30, and a bullet to Higgins. And a big one next week. Baltimore hosting Buffalo in week 4. Burrow throws it underneath. T. Higgins after the catch. He's got enough for a first down. Gang tackle as he crossed the 35 and brought down at the 37-yard line. C.J. Mosley leading that charge. That's a gain of 9. Got a 14-6 lead on the Jets. Joe Mixon in the backfield on first down and 10 from the 25. Burrow pushing it downfield. The deep shot caught by Higgins. Flags down, and Higgins took a major hit.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 29.
Yeah.
Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Spotted at the 47 of the Dolphins. Quick pass. Left side. Nice move by Higgins, who scored 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl, and he picks up a first down. Burrow is 8 of 15, barely over 50%. Goes deep down the left sideline, and that's caught. That's T. Higgins to the end zone.
Look at their safeties concerned about the right side. Their bodies turned. They think the ball is going to chase. Instead, it creates a one-on-one opportunity. They think that one of the best corners in the league, Howard, can hold up against Higgins. They want to help out on the other side, so they leave Howard alone, and a good throw. Great job by Higgins with the catch radius to come back to that ball.
From the 36. Burrow, good protection, slings it to the outside, and that's close to a first down for T. Higgins.
It seems like a lot of these NFL games, hold your breath, comes down to the final possession.
You like it, don't you?
I'm enjoying it.
1st and 20. That is caught, and to the 25-yard line goes T. Higgins.
Had a pretty good go at this offense. Quick pass to the outside. That is complete and being thrown out of bounds as T. Higgins.
And forces you in a one safety defense like the Saints are in now.
That was only the 8th run of the day for the Cincinnati offense. This pass is complete to T. Higgins and out of bounds. Burrow on the slant. Got his man across midfield. There is a flag down as T. Higgins pulls it in. Burrow pass. Oh, nice grab by T. Higgins.
And he's done that here in the second half.
Burrow up to 221 yards and the touchdown pass to Chase. Now first down. Burrow. That pass complete at the 30-yard line. Higgins shakes a tackle, shakes another, and goes inside the 25 to the 24-yard line.
How about Tyler Boyd, already over 100 yards on 4 catches and a touchdown. Pressure coming, Burrow to the outside. Cool customer this time finding T. Higgins.
So that they can get both of those players picked up.
Second down and 19 behind the chains. That pass is complete for a first down. So you lose 9 on the sack, and then you find T. Higgins over the middle and move the sticks. In the second quarter with an injury is back out there and ready for this drive. As Burrow is going to go the other direction and connect with T. Higgins, the third-year man out of Clemson, for a first down. The clock ticking, certainly Cincinnati in no hurry. And Burrow calmly completes for a first down to T. Higgins. Out across the 20. And now they can just continue to eat that clock.
Well, they put Deion Jones in a bind. They ran 2 verticals inside, and he had to choose one, and he went opposite of him for the completion.
Higgins forced out by Emerson. Burrow protected, gets hit a bit. Higgins, what a catch! Wow, touchdown Cincinnati as he took it away from Greedy Williams.
He stays over the top of him. Perfect. The ball's coming in. He's going to play it, but there goes Higgins right over the top of him. And that's what Higgins is able to do. I mean, he's a big physical wide receiver.
Trent Taylor in motion on first down. Burrow to the air. T. Higgins plucks it for a 5-yard gain to the 15-yard line.
I mean, that's your whole franchise right there.
Second and 8. Burrow to the air. Grabbed by Higgins. First down for Cincinnati to the 42. Burrow to the air. Quick catch for T. Higgins. And Higgins back to the original line of scrimmage. Picks up 5. It's like Adeniji in there as the extra blocker.
There he is.
Play action. Burrow sets up to the sideline with Higgins, and T. Higgins ushered out at the 21 by Keith Taylor, and another Cincinnati first down.
10:50 to play, and Burrow to throw again, this time the other side of the field, and that is T. Higgins once again. Burrow looking left all the way, throws sideline, leaping for the catch is T. Higgins, and comes down hard. Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati offense. That pass is complete. Nice throw, nice catch, T. Higgins.
Cincinnati wants to match that level of physicality here today. Burrow on 2nd and 3. Short throw, hauled in by Higgins. First down. Excellent battle here today. First down after that penalty. Burrow on time. T. Higgins. So the Bengals are in business. Burrow uncorks it. End zone. Touchdown. T. Higgins. Cincinnati takes the lead.
Watch this route because Higgins wins it by being physical at the end with the rookie with McCrary. Because
number 2 in that category. San Francisco number 1. Burrow sets, throws, upstairs. T. Higgins. He brings it in. First down, Cincinnati.
You know, high point it every time.
Could be dangerous right here. 3rd and 8. He's at the bottom of the screen, but Burrow's going the other way, and he's got Higgins, and he dives for the touchdown. What a play by T. Higgins.
Why this offense is darn near unstoppable, because he, over the last 2 weeks, led the NFL in receiving with chases out 262 yards.
Hurry up now for Burrow to Higgins, who caught his touchdown pass earlier in this quarter. From the 28. Pressure. Pass. Oh, that's going to do it.
Oh,
Higgins somehow able to get that reception with Joshua Williams all over him.
Chase is the guy. You're going to see him double teamed with this safety right here.
Goes to the right side. He's got a completion to Boyd. 29 seconds and counting. Asiasi moves to the left side, so does Higgins.
I like to see the shift and then the motion. Now people got to get set, get to know what they're in.
To the end zone, back in the end zone, Higgins with the touchdown.
Go ahead and run that. Get ready to pause right after this play fake. And go ahead and play. You're going to run around the world and around the world, and you just pick the guy who's running around the world the fastest. I think Tracy's going to give us an update in a second, and I think you're seeing part of these catches are because of that.
Here they bring it. And as Higgins holding on for it for the 2. And Houston, a one-win team, really had
2 games in a row.
Kansas City on the ropes today. 2nd and 10.
And Dallas last week had to come back and beat him at the end. Houston.
Higgins backed up. And White and company bring him down. He's locked in, those eyes on a 6th consecutive win, is what it would be. And a 10-win season. Sideline, Higgins, it's a catch.
They are really protecting Joe Burrow.
Jamar Chase named to the Pro Bowl. Burrow looking down the sideline. Higgins, 50-50 ball. It's caught by Higgins. More like 80-20 when you get Higgins involved.
Let's just play our game.
Here's Burrow out of the gun on 2nd and 5. Catch made. T. Higgins lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Keep them out of the end zone.
Yeah, but watch T. Higgins win the route there on the separation, and then watch him finish it off with dropping the shoulder. This is the most important drive of the game for them right now, the way the momentum is starting to shift.
Burrow guns it. Up high, handled by Higgins.
Well, and if you're New England, it's a win and in, and not the way you want to start that game, but great way for Buffalo to get things started.
Congested pocket. Pierre-Paul was pressing. Here's a throw. 2nd and 8. Grabbed on the play by T. Higgins. On the 2nd down and 8. Got out to the 30.
From the 32, after the gain of 1, Burrow sideline shot. T. Higgins first down at the 21-yard line. 2nd and 19. Ravens bring 4. Burrow throws underneath on the run. Higgins. Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith, and Patrick Queen bring him down. Going to set up 3rd and 10. He right in the back. 3rd and 7. Burrow protected for the moment. Throws in the middle, complete for the first down to Higgins at the 45-yard line. Wilcox, the tight end, in motion, turns upfield. Burrow scrambles. Anybody coming with him? He throws to the back line. Got Higgins for 2. And for the injured, Jonah Williams is held up so far. Does again here. Higgins met by Queen and Humphrey. Still fought through. 4 Ravens to make it 3rd and short.
It gets tougher, gets later, then you're going to give the ball to Burrow and let him throw it.
He's already got 100 yards of offense, this team. Not even 7 minutes in, and Higgins now gets on the board with a reception.
You're so stylish today, honey. You look stunning.
1st and 10. There's Burrow to Higgins. Nobody near him, and he knows where to go to get the first down. They have another one. And that, of course, was Micah Hyde's position at the start of the year before a neck injury for him. Now it's Jaquan Johnson in there. 1st and 10. And what a catch. That was some fingertip grab by Higgins.
Kansas City the same way.
1st and 10. And Burrow with the catch made. That's Higgins. 39 seconds, 1 timeout for the Bengals. He's got Higgins for another first down. He couldn't come into the league. They couldn't get a single-digit number. He wants it now.
85 is a good one, and they need him again.
Here they go. Down to the 5, and there he is, Tony, at the 5-yard line. They bring extra pressure, and the pass to Higgins.
All the way on the outside.
Able to seal him. Here's the pass. Oh, what a catch! Leaping into the air and pulling it down is T. Higgins. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying the game. 27 yards.
When I talked about the adjustments and how high level, and here to Higgins, guess what, Jim? Wide side of the field. Take them all off the field. No one double teams you there.
On first down. He's going up top. It gets it to Higgins.